Welcome back to Orange Hat Reviews, everyone. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. So, evening as well for many of us. We're going to be talking Harry Potter season 6, year 6. Wow, way to screw up on the intro. We're talking Half-Blood Prince, year 6, Harry Potter. And before I do get started, I did say that I would bring out a special prop that I got from Noble Collection. Everybody knows Bellatrix's wand. Well, here's one thing I didn't show you guys.
Cool.
Very nice. Very nice.
The one that Tom Riddle wears in this movie. And it also has the Resurrection Stone with the Deathly Hallows sign in there.
Oh, that's so cool.
Wow.
Yep. And I actually had two of them, but one, well, it got lost. So it's like, fuck it, I'll get another one. And I'm glad I did. But yes, year 6, movie 6 of Hogwarts. This movie basically kicks off full-blown dark side taking control and whatnot, basically. So the one sad thing, we were actually talking about this before we started, was if you guys read the books, we know that Scrimgeour, who is the new Minister of Magic, and Fudge has indeed stepped down. And they have a lovely little thing about the new Prime Minister, or the English Prime Minister, the Muggle Prime Minister. And sadly, they didn't introduce that into the movie. It would have just been so freaking awesome to do. But, instead, they go straight to snapping a bridge in two with 3 Death Eaters, also 3 Death Eaters going in and kidnapping Ollivander from the wand shop. Here's the one thing, and if my viewers, if you have watched my brief review, you will know that subjectively I have a lower score for this movie. Objectively, this movie is good. Subjectively, if you know your lore, you would have known that one of those Death Eaters should not have been there. Because he also shouldn't have been considered a Death Eater. Fenrir Greyback, the werewolf guy.
Which it irritates me because they never actually tell you his name in the movie.
They do give it, or they do show it.
Yes.
Or in Nocturne Alley, but you're right, they don't.
Yeah,
they
if
don't
you
say
blink,
it.
you miss it. That's the thing.
Yeah. But yes, Fenrir Greyback is actually a werewolf follower of Voldemort, but Voldemort would never allow him to have a wand.
And correct me if I'm wrong. Fenrir is also the one that made Remus.
Yes.
Yes. That's why
one of the things.
That's why Kim showing up at the Weasley house was significant.
And one of the things that they talked about with Fenrir Greyback was he loved to kill kids. Kids were his thing, which is kind of devious if you really think about it.
Yeah.
But he would always strategically place himself somewhere right as a full moon rises so that he could be right there for the kill. I mean, no offense, that's pretty smart, but if I'm a werewolf, I'd at least savor the hunt. But yes, the bridge scene, when I read the book, they just said it snapped cleanly in 2. And how they do it in the movie, it seems more logical, how they disrupt the bridge's momentum and whatnot, how they continue flying around it and just break it up. And then they go to the railway diner At least I think that's what they call those. Where Harry's reading the paper, and this cute little number comes over. Harry Potter. Who's Harry Potter? No, nobody. Just really a bit of a tosser, really. It's like, dude, did you realize that if you go out on a date with her, well, now you're fucked. Because if it ever does turn into anything significant, well, she's going to have to know your real name.
I'm sorry, I was just laughing at the fact that he used the term tosser.
Yeah.
I'm just like, did you really, of all the ones you could have picked, you picked that one. Okay. All right.
But, like we don't know some guys going to and go, oh yeah, I'm a bad boy. I'm a bad boy. Especially when his picture is right in front of him in the newspaper. Come on.
I just thought it was hilarious. That's what they did. You know, it's like they couldn't go with wanker. That wasn't enough. They went with tosser, which was just it just cracked me up because it was like a step farther than I would have expected. But it worked great because it was so out there that you just had to laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, oh my God, really?
And then he put the breath mints in his mouth too.
Yeah. 11. That's when I get off. It's like,
yeah.
There is just so many ways that a person can interpret that.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, they just weren't.
Okay.
They went there.
Yeah, they did.
Actually went there. 11. That's when I get off. It's like, that's when I'm sure he wants you to get off. But then Dumbledore shows up and spoils his night. Dumbledore the cockblock.
How reckless he's been.
Yep. And as he's saying this, Dumbledore looking deadpan at a freaking Victoria's Secret billboard.
And it's funny because that same billboard is in the quote-unquote King's Cross station for the Hogwarts Express at Universal Orlando. Yeah.
Oh my God, seriously?
It is.
Wow.
What kills me about that scene is he accuses Harry of being reckless. I'm sorry, who's the one that just apparated in the middle of a group of muggles?
Exactly.
Yeah. I know, right? It's like,
dude.
Yeah. But then again, we all know that Dumbledore has many talents. I mean, he's pretty much a walking Confundus charm. But yeah, then they introduced apparating, which I believe was introduced originally in the 5th book.
It was.
Yes, the 5th book, where a girl accidentally splinched her leg off. But yeah.
They'd introduced it in that movie too, because Fred and George apparate from upstairs.
Yes, but they don't have the same effect. They just have them right there. And it's like, that's just... So which one, comparing the two different versions of, or looks of apparating, which ones do you prefer? Instant appearance or the kind of rolling into the reality as they show it?
I kind of like both. I really do. I've never really thought of picking one over the other. Although the instant apparition, that does kind of like freak me out.
Yeah.
I kind of like the rolling into reality just that bit more. Because it does give you that feeling of the folding where there is a danger aspect to it that they touch on.
Also, I remember how they actually describe it in the books. It's like a pole behind the navel, and I'm like, God, why can I actually visualize that in my head? Like somebody like hooking on your gut in your guts right behind the navel and just yank. It's just weird. Gives me the creeps just thinking about it. But yeah, Dumbledore is just deadpan humor that entire beginning of that whole thing. He's like, I just apparated, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yes, and quite successfully, I might add. Most people
Mhm.
vomit the first time,
Done.
and then he just walks right off. He's like,
Yeah.
"Welcome to the town of Bubbly Babberton." I'm like, please tell me that's not a real town in England.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. I've seen some weird towns a few times I've been to England. Wouldn't surprise me. I'd be happy to see one. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, and one of the other thing, and because we're coming up to this, is Horace Slughorn, where they come up to the destroyed house and they see the chair, and if you look at that chair, you can actually see his feet under the front of the chair, which is actually shown or described in the book as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, objectively, Jim Broadbent, the person who plays Slughorn, does a really good job acting.
He does.
I wouldn't have cast him as Slughorn, though, subjectively. Because Slughorn in the book is described as a very portly individual who's kind of like a walrus-like. You kind of get a walrus kind of feel with the mustache and all that. How you doing, Soul Assassin? Good to see you.
Hey, Soul.
When is the books about Harry Potter's midlife crisis coming out? Those should be interesting reads. Oh, you got yourself put up there for that one, buddy. Good one. But yeah, if I could pick any person to play Slughorn, honestly, I'd go with the guy who played Vernon Dursley with a little bit of prosthetic makeup and shave his damn head.
Mm-hmm.
And give him a bit of more exaggerated mustache. Because, well, he's got the bigness. No offense to the guy. He was a very large man.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of fulfilled my image of what Slughorn should look like in the movie as well. But the guy that they had, Jim Broadbent, he was actually a good. I'd say he would be a good alternate version. You know,
the mustache would have completed it.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
But putting a mustache on him would have just looked weird.
It's Harry Potter. They're supposed to look a little weird. I mean, my heart went out to the lady who played from the last movie.
Bellatrix?
No, the one everyone hates.
Dolores Umbridge. Yeah.
Yeah. When she was
cast as that, woman not in?
When she was cast as that, somebody said, "Oh no, you suit this perfectly." The character was described as very Toad-like. She's like, thanks.
Yeah, it's like, really? Y'all remember that meme I put up last, or you guys remember that meme I put up there?
Yeah,
admit it. You wanted her dead more than Voldemort. It's like,
I'm sure I did. Her and her cat plates.
Yeah. I mean, those cat plates were basically her spies. They were. Notice when they went in, small digression to the 5th movie, folks. When they went into her office, one cat left to basically rat him out. But yeah. How she's not in Azkaban, like, in year 6 is beyond me.
She knows people who know people.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I know that in the end of the war from Pottermore, I believe, she is in Azkaban because she did, or the truth came out.
Yeah.
And she was also using a freaking Horcrux to boost her blood status. But yeah, we'll get into that in 2 weeks. But so now they talk to Horace. Horace talks to Harry. Does the whole, you're very much like your father, except the eyes. And he's like, yeah, I have my mother's eyes, I know. It's like, you just know that Harry is just sick and tired of hearing that shit. I'm like, dude, get into character. I mean, something just tells me that Daniel Radcliffe, he's like, yeah, I already know this. Yeah, my mother's eyes, I know. Yeah.
Actually, that's why I like how he did that. Because my name is actually from a children's book. My sisters named me after it. So every teacher I had that was familiar with it, they would be like, they'd look at the particular spelling and they'd start off quoting the first line of every damn book, the first couple lines. And yeah, I was at that point of yeah, I get it. Now it's sort of a matter of pride, but when I was at the age Harry is in the movies,
16,
I was like, oh, for the love of God, enough already.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God, would you just knock that shit off? I mean, believe me, I've lost it on a few people when it came to annoyances and whatnot.
Yeah.
I mean, people are telling me to cut my hair. It's like, I don't want to cut my hair right now. Leave me alone. Then my mom tells me to cut my hair. It's like, oh my God, Mom, will you shut? But yeah, it's like, I'm freaking 35 years old. If I want to cut my hair, I'll cut my damn hair. We're getting into winter. It's getting cold. I need my hair. So yeah. Anyway, back into the movie. Lovely digression there, folks. But yeah. So he points out to Harry everybody on the shelf and whatnot, and he points out one very important character who is sort of a pinch or sort of a hint, but most people will miss it if you've only watched the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Where he's like, oh, of course, or because he picks up a thing of Regulus Black. He's like, and he's talking to him about Sirius Black, and he's like, I'm sure you noticed that his brother Sirius died a few weeks back. It's like, yeah, he knows. I'm pretty sure he knows. Because in the beginning of this movie, which we actually didn't, or we kind of just skipped over, it actually starts with the vindication photographs of Harry Potter and Dumbledore. And Dumbledore is just doing his poses, and he then notices that Harry's just like completely traumatized and just wants to get the hell out of there. And that's when he's like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, but also
talking back to my mom
they go through Sirius's will, and because Sirius was his godfather, he is now the owner of
Grimmauld Place. Yep. And also Creature and whatnot. And
Creature.
Yeah. That house elf creature, man.
So not Dobby.
But, yeah, I know.
And that was the other thing that they never touch on in the movies that I was sad about. While we're on that whole Dobby creature thing.
Yeah.
Harry actually learns through Hermione that creature can actually be nice. And that was the thing. That was one that I was actually a little sad that they didn't touch on.
Yeah.
Because Hermione got him. She was like, okay, just because that's how Sirius treated him, doesn't mean that's the way you have to.
Yeah. I mean, Creature's kind of used to it, though. So, I mean, let's face it, Dobby is kind of an anomaly of house elves.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he's also probably a much younger elf than Creature. I mean, look at Creature. He's an old man elf, kind of.
Yes.
And he's looking forward to having his head on a wall. So, yeah.
Yeah. Not bored at all.
I mean, that's something that wasn't really discussed in the movie, but it's like, yeah, where are those heads? I want to see the heads of the house elves in Grimmauld Place. And his twisted obsession is like, one day, my head's going to be on that wall. It's like, not something I'd look forward to, buddy.
It was a matter of pride for them.
Yeah,
for him
it was. But also, one of the it is true that they should have actually introduced that because it is important because Creature appears there once they're going over the will, and he's just screaming, I won't, I won't, I won't. He doesn't want to follow Harry Potter. And he's like, is there any way to get him to show? He's like, give him an order, find out. Shut up, Creature! And Creature just shuts up, and he's like, he can't freaking talk. And it's like, oh, wow. And also, Harry is, richer now because all of Sirius's funds are now his.
Yeah, not only does he have the Potter fortune, he has the Black fortune as well.
Yep. He has the entire. It's like, damn, dude.
Yeah, he just became the most, like, one of the most wealthy wizards out there.
Mhm.
Like it says, he was the best toilet cleaner. Yes, that is true, Matt. But one of the important things was he needed to be under Harry's control. Creature did, because the only other family that he would have gone to was the Malfoys, or, God forbid, Bellatrix Lestrange. And what does Creature know? Well, he knows about Grimmauld Place. He knows a lot of the shit that the Order is doing.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's like, yeah, it's imperative that you take control of Creature. I mean, they really should have. That is actually, for movie-wise, it is true. That is one of the bigger flaws.
Mm-hmm.
And so then Dumbledore comes out of the loo after setting the house back in order. And he's like, hey, Horace, can I take this? I really do love knitting patterns. It's like, yeah, he's gay. I mean, the thing is, they didn't even need to announce it. It's like, everybody just kind of knew.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of something that, and it didn't even matter either. It doesn't matter. I mean, everybody nowadays knows about everything that's going on with J.K. Rowling and how everybody's going full-blown Nazi on the Harry Potter books. But, oh, did I say that out loud?
You did.
A little bit,
well, yeah. I'm not monetized, so I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, believe me, folks, if I was monetized, I wouldn't get away with half the shit I have said in videos.
Yeah, no.
Anywho,
I explained that to my sister earlier.
Yeah. Back to the movie. He's like, what, you're not leaving now? Well, I know a lost cause when I see one, but I would have considered a great personal Dumbledore, master manipulator of the millennium.
Yeah. Once again,
he plays
the
ego, he plays the humility, he plays all of it, man. Because Harry is a very humble wizard, even though he is flawed in this movie. He has an unhealthy obsession with a certain blonde man. But anyway, we're going to get into that. When they're walking out the house, you hear Horace falling through the house and go, ah! And I'm like, really? That's a good touch. But then he comes out, he's like, all right, I'll do it, but I want Professor Mary Thought's office, not that broom closet I had before. I want a raise. These are mad times, I tell you, mad. They are indeed. So then he gets to, or he apologizes to Harry. He's like, I feel I've robbed you of a wondrous evening. It's like, yeah, getting a girl off at 11. Yeah. You robbed them of that, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I mean, seriously, folks, we could seriously get into a very perverted round here, but let's not and say we did.
We did.
But, yeah. I mean, all those mints.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. So he's at he gets set to the burrow, and Hedwig and his trunk are already there, and Ginny sees Hedwig, and its head's popping out of every which way of the burrows, upstairs and down and whatnot. They wouldn't have known if Harry Potter is here. Is that no later? Harry, somebody said Harry. It's like, what is this? The freaking Wizard Brady Bunch?
Kind of. Yeah.
I mean, it's funny. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love it. It's funny. Now,
I think the Weasleys themselves have more kids than the Brady Bunch. Then you add in like the extras, like
Charlie, Bill, Fred, George,
Percy.
Ron, Percy, Slick get Percy. All right, let's try this again. Charlie's the oldest. Bill is the second oldest. Percy is the third oldest. Fred, George, so that's 5.
Yep.
Ron, and then Ginny. That's 7 kids. So
Mhm.
how many kids did the Brady Bunch have? 6. Yep,
6.
more kids than the Brady Bunch. How you doing, Mongo? Good to see you.
Hey, Mongo.
Dumbledore the wand blocker.
What? Oh, that's funny.
Dude,
That is funny.
freaking, you just won the magical. You just won the magical internet there, dude. You just won the magical internet.
Wand blocking. I like that.
Yeah.
Funny.
Over here in America, we have cock blockers. Well, over there in Britain, they got wand blockers. Well, they do, or, well, wands are made of wood. Think about it, folks. Anyway, we're giving you more of an education in actual real life stuff than talking about a movie right now. So let's get back to the movie, shall we? So yeah, Ginny sees Harry, runs up, gives him a hug. Awkward moment because, well, aren't they currently or isn't she like currently going out with Dean? And yada yada yada, and it's like, yeah, kind of awkward. And then or Hermione and Ron show up, and he's like pointing at her face, got a bit of toothpaste, and she's kind of all giggly, and it's like, you are really trying to sell the fact that you're in love with Ron.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we all knew where this was going, but damn, you're really trying to oversell it a little. She did kind of oversell it a little bit.
Just a little.
I mean, honestly, I thought that Emma Watson may have been high during the making of this film. Because, holy crap, her laughing when they were upstairs talking about Dumbledore being 150, give or take a few years. It's like, I know that I laugh and go overboard with my laughter, but damn, you outdid me. That's saying something.
Wow.
And they're just, it's like, how is Harry getting away with underage magic at the Burrow? Well, but then again, if you think about it, he's at a place where he is under supervision.
Yes.
I mean, he torched a paper with Malfoy and whatnot, and it's like, yeah. Also, I love the paper that they had at the railway station. Azkaban's newest resident. And it's a picture of Lucius Malfoy, and it's like,
yeah,
damn, they did that. That's awesome.
They did.
So then they go to Narcissa, Malfoy, and Bellatrix going to see Snape. Mm-hmm. And this is a pivotal part in the book and the movie, because Snape basically drives Bellatrix nuts because Bellatrix doesn't know which side he's playing for real, and also she doesn't like that she's not as high up with the Dark Lord as she wants to be, because let's face it, folks, she wants in the Dark Lord's slithery pants. So yeah.
Yeah, that was blatantly obvious. I'm just like, ooh, the thirst is real.
In the book, it is very. It's she. Actually,
they were subtle in the movie.
Yeah, they were subtle in the movie. In the book, she's like, wow, he'd have me, and it's like,
okay, yeah, because if it's subtle in the movie, I can't even imagine what is in the book.
I mean,
yeah, I'm saying it was subtle in the movie in comparison to the book. Yeah,
I know.
There was
thought that I had, because when I saw that in a movie, I'm just like, if they're playing it kind of down in the movie, I can only imagine what it's like. Because I'm a book behind, because right now I'm reading the Order of the Phoenix, so like all that detail in the book, I'm just like I'm just like, I have to read what this scene was like, because ooh, girl, give her some water.
Yeah.
I know, right?
She really wanted to get all Slytherin with him. Yeah.
There you go. Bellatrix the thirst. There you go. Gotta love this chat, folks.
GIF of that, though.
I love my chat because they know how to bring the humor and the puns. I mean, if Stig was in here, God, we would have a lot of fun.
Oh, goodness.
But Stig's probably asleep right now.
God, I hope so. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning.
For him, yeah, in Norway. Go to bed, Viking. Anyway, So they make the unbreakable vow, and I love how when they make it, it actually scars her hand, and she actually brings up her hand so you can see the cross if you really look there, how the lines actually crossed on her hand, and they actually detail that in the book as well.
Yeah.
So, but also one thing that a lot of people don't realize, if you do compare Bellatrix Lestrange from the book to Bellatrix Lestrange from the movie, they're two different Bellatrixes. They are really two different Bellatrixes. The Bellatrix Lestrange in the books, her hair is not insane. Her hair is not Tim Burton, basically. In the movie, it's like, yeah, she's full Tim Burton, man. I mean, she is Tim Burton's wife.
That is just part. That is part of her, though. You know, that from somebody who has hair almost that curly, you need like 5 different conditioners, some anti-frizz, a demon sacrifice, and a good spell to get it under control.
But yeah.
Plus, it adds to the insane of the character.
Yes, it did.
So, yeah.
And also the fact that she kind of always loved to suck on like blackberries and stuff to make her teeth look rotted. That was really something too.
Wow.
I mean, she went full dedication to this role. Helena Bonham Carter is a great actress.
Yes.
A lot of people don't realize that. She is a great actress.
She's legendary.
And
so excited to see her in this.
And so then they go to Weasley's Wizarding Wheezes. Right? Did I say that right?
Yes, Weasley's Wizarding Wheezes.
Yeah, the joke shop. And they're in Diagon Alley. Yep. And it is so freaking great. You see Dolores Umbridge, I will have order, while hauling some of that milk on a string.
Dude, when I was at Universal Orlando and got to go to Diagon Alley and went into that shop, I specifically went and I took footage of it just to see that with the little Dolores Umbridge on the wire, like, I will have order.
Yeah, nice.
It's freaking hilarious to see.
And they actually set up a lot of what happens in this movie with some of the stuff there that happens later on in the movie. Peruvian instant darkness powder, the love potions.
Yes.
All of it. They set it all up.
Wow.
The Peruvian darkness powder we'll get into. But the love potions.
While we're in the shop though, I just want to touch on that beautiful scene, and I don't remember whether it was in the book or not. I think it was. But just, Ron looking at them, well, how much for this? $5.
Yeah. Oh. How much for me?
How much for me?
5 galleons.
5 galleons.
I'm your brother.
I'm your brother. 10 galleons.
10 galleons.
I love that, and especially how beautifully they did that in sync.
Yeah, I know, right? And if you look at, well, I don't know which one is which at the time, but one of them is looking pretty like businesslike when he says 10 galleons, and the other is just looking fully insane. He's like, 10 galleons? Fuck you, buddy. You ain't getting a family discount. But they never really said how they got that thing going.
Yeah.
Sadly, they didn't explain that Harry gave his Triwizard Tournament earnings to Fred and George. And it's like, that's how they got it all, folks.
Yeah.
I mean, originally they had hauled in all of that gold from the Leprechaun gold from the Quidditch finals, but Leprechaun gold disappears. So it's like, and they seriously wanted to kill the guy that swindled them. But yeah, they're like, if we find him, he is dead. In the books, you read about that in the 4th book, folks. But yeah, back to the 6th one. Then they leave, and you see the Hungarian horntail miniature dragon cooking up roasting up some I think it's dates for chestnuts roasting on a horntail's fire. Yeah. Helena Cool, just don't eat her pies. Just saying. Soul Assassin, so nice you said it twice. Because I got it twice in the chat.
I see it too.
You'll get that silly sweet in the chat. Yeah, if I end up finding time to do a morning or afternoon live stream. But yeah, so they go to Ollivander's. They see Draco and Mommy Dearest heading down Nocturne. Now, it happens differently in the books, folks, because they actually catch Draco in the robes place, getting sized up for a robe, and when the woman accidentally gets too close to his forearm, he freaks out a lot.
Yeah.
And, well, we all know why if we've seen the movie. So they follow him. This is where they actually show the wanted poster of Fenrir Greyback. And they also have them getting all sleuth-like. And, God dang it. I have something flying around my face. Anyway. Yeah, it's a Rackspurt, most likely. Anywho, they see what's going on, and Narcissa gives Malfoy a nice little kiss on the cheek, and then Fenrir Greyback messes up the thing. Now, here's a big mistake they made in the movie. If you pay close attention, that you hear Daniel Radcliffe's voice saying, "What were they doing there? And what was with that funny-looking cabinet?" And then you hear him answering that his very own question. "Don't you see? It's a ceremony. He's one of them." One of what? And it's like the first dialogue of Harry asking those weird questions. That's actually Ron's lines.
Yeah.
But it's Daniel Radcliffe reading them. And it drives me bonkers that they have not gone back and redid that. It's like, why couldn't you guys do? I mean, how many? He is pretty much his voice has not gotten any deeper or higher or anything. Go back, reread it. There you go. I mean, hell, people went back and did stuff from movies 20 years ago. So, oh my God, what? This movie, oh, geez, just fix it, please. So, because Ron and Hermione don't want to believe it. Harry's right, by the way. He's a freaking Death Eater.
Yeah.
And it's like, nobody will believe Harry, but Harry, it's like, oh my God, all of it's right there, pretty much plain as day, but nobody will believe Harry. Because it is kind of outlandish. If you think about it, it is outlandish. But it doesn't make it any less true. So Harry plays sneak with some instant darkness Peruvian powder stuff. And, well, he gets caught. And Malfoy's like, "Didn't Mummy teach you not to eavesdrop, Potter?" And then he petrifies him, breaks his nose, and puts the invisibility cloak on him. He's like, "Your ride back to London. That was for my fault." It's like, damn, full Punisher mode. Go Malfoy. And who comes to the rescue? Well, the same insane person that we meet in the 5th movie, who reads a Quibbler upside down and talks about Rackspurts. Luna Lovegood. Thing is, she's not crazy because there was something around his head. Whether or not they're actually called Rackspurts, who knows? But they were around his head. And they were invisible creatures. Seeable only through wizard-looking 3D glasses. Flitwick.
In the book, it's Tonks that finds him.
Yes, it is Tonks. And her hair is different, and she has a different Patronus as well.
Yeah, her hair is
And
brown.
Snape taunts the hell out of her because of it. And Snape actually taunts the hell out of Harry as he's walking him up to the castle, but it's different in the movie, where they're walking up to the thing and it's like, been waiting for you to, or freaking Warwick Davis, who plays Flitwick. Names. Professor Flitwick, you've known me for 4 years, or for 5 years. No exceptions. Potter. It's like, really? Well, there you go. There's your answer. And my question is, why is Draco carrying around his father's walking stick / wand?
Yeah, they never explained that.
Yeah. It's like, it's a walking stick, you cretin. It's like, can't you say cretin? Sounds better.
No, because they're British, so they have to say.
Yeah, they are British. Gotta love those British. Malfoy was pretty brutal, but thankfully not that brutal. Oh, he could have been real brutal, but yeah. I mean, let's be honest, folks. If this guy was or if I had somebody at my mercy who had just sent my father to possibly a life sentence in prison, and totally at my mercy, no chance of anybody knowing. Yeah, I would put my foot on his throat and just step.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest, folks. You're 16. You are hurting like hell. You are full of hate. What would you do? What would you do?
We're being this is live, and yeah, I'm not going to answer that question on the phone.
Notice my
well,
side.
let's just say that we have some very colorful methods of how we would exact revenge. Any wizard's got to have a pimp cane.
Exactly. You know what? So assassin, that is exactly what it is, and that's what I've been calling it ever since I saw Lucius Malfoy show up.
Give yourself a plug for that. Seriously.
Because that was awesome.
It is so freaking pimped out. Because when I saw the replicas at Universal for sale, oh my god, it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, the one I got is pretty top notch. I mean, it is kind of doffed with the couple pieces missing, but yeah, I actually have the Malfoy walking cane and head.
It is styling. It is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the one she told me about that you saw, Lorena. Man, we got to start up a GoFundMe for her for this thing. She needs it.
Yeah. Now, so they get in, and God damn it, Luna fixes his nose, and I wish they had put this in when they got into the Great Hall, where they announce, or they do the announcements saying that Professor Slughorn's his potion, and Snape is Professor of the Dark, or is now Professor of Defense Against the Dark Arts. If you know the book as well as me and Mads know it, you know that there is a very loud, resounding "No!" in the middle of that scene.
There was some happy people.
There were some happy people, of course. The entire Slytherin table, except for Draco, who couldn't give a But
in the same respect, there was people happy about Snape being in the Defense Against the Dark Arts because of the curse that was associated with that.
That too.
Yeah.
I was like, well, think of it this way: he's dead.
Now that I remember when I first saw
that means he's not going to be here next year.
Exactly what I thought about. I'm just like, they haven't been able to keep a Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher for more than one school year.
Mm-hmm. And they actually explain it in the book with some of the memories and whatnot. Let me check my topics here. So, yeah, the romance being ramped up. I mean, they really went romantic in this movie, which, I mean, Lavender Brown, man. Ron said it perfectly in this movie. She seems a bit put out, and they look at her, and she's just looking. But that's for later, folks.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so they get into school, and everything's starting up, and you see Harry and Ron looking at or having a free period, getting all laughs about everything going on. But then they get sent to potions class because, well, they still want to be Aurors. Like, I don't want to go to potions. And it's like, too bad you're going to potions.
Take Weasley with you. He's having way too much fun.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. And so they get to potions, and I just love Slughorn's reaction. He's like, "You brought a friend, I see." And it's like, dude, you are leering at him in such a weird way. Stop that. There's just so much wrong with Slughorn. But Slughorn is also a sleazy kind of guy, too. If you really pay attention to back alley transactions, all sorts of stuff, too. It's like, wow, man. Bunch of turned on preteen wizards, which is sounds scary as hell. 20 style points for Slytherin.
Yeah, exactly.
And so they get potions going, and Ron and Harry don't have their books, so they have to go to the cabinet, and they see one shitty looking book and one good looking book, and so they fight over the good book.
Yeah, that was funny.
It's like, give it a fucking book, mother. He's like, nope, I'm bigger, I'm Irish, you're not getting it. Hail to the Gingers, folks. The Ginger won. But did he? Sadly, no.
Yeah.
The Ginger won the good-looking book, but it had like vomit on almost every other page, if I remember correctly.
It didn't have the good stuff in it.
It didn't have the good stuff.
Quotes, the good stuff.
Yeah. Now, so they go through all the different potions, including Amortentia, the world's most powerful love potion. And you see the girls walking up to it, like, or Hermione, freaking Lavender Brown, the Slytherin girl. God, I forget her name.
Give me a second.
Pansy Parkinson.
Hmm?
And Pansy. She is a pansy, but yeah, Pansy Parkinson from
and Romilda Vane.
And Romilda Vane, yep. And they're all going right up to it until he puts a cap on it, and then they're like, "Oh, okay, gotta back off now. We're no longer enthralled." And so they talk about then they see the little vial of Felix Felicis. And here's another thing that they changed. Another thing, folks, that they changed. That potion is not supposed to be clear. The only clear potion that they had that day was Veritaserum, which is clear. Felix Felicis
Gold.
is gold. Kind of like orange soda gold.
No, like gold.
You know.
That's what I got.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
they did give it a slight gold look to the vial, so I give them a pass on that one.
But then later shots, they show it looking more clear.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn it. Consistency, people. It's needed. Oh, that's still up there. Seriously, Pansy Parkinson. Yes, Soul Assassin. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Pansy, Parkinson's disease, not a good twist. Or not a good mix.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, Harry is reading, "This book is property of the Half-Blood Prince." Okay, now we know now we know a little bit more about why this movie was entitled that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, don't cut it, crush it. No, the directions specifically say to cut. No, really. And you see Hermione's hair just getting more frizzled and frizzled and frizzled, and everybody else freaking blown off their eyebrows and melting their little stirs and all sorts of other stuff. And Harry's just plowing right through it.
Mm-hmm. Just cruising like, here's another cheat hint. Okay. Here's another cheat hint. Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm. 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 And so he makes a perfect draft of Living Death, and he's like, I dare one drop may kill us all.
That's all.
It's like, yeah, that's a sleeping potion, not a killing potion. But yeah.
But still, it's that draught of the living death. Like when taking one quick trip back to the first one, where you got Snape in that same room listing off And what would you get if you mixed wormwood with a drop of asphodel? And
Yeah.
you got Hermione with her hand going up in the air, and
Yeah.
me with my hand up in the air.
Put your hand down, you silly girl.
Oh, I know.
That's the exact potion that he referenced.
Yep. I mean, I just love how in the extended version they actually add it. Also on the cable versions, they add that scene in.
Yes.
For extending the movie further a little bit to make it like a 4-hour freaking on-cable movie version.
Yeah, and explain what each one of those is.
Yeah.
Because I've seen online discussions of, well, that's just referencing his love for Lily Potter. No, it's not. No, it's not. That's Draught of Living Death.
Exactly. And so he gets the bottle. Now they don't actually go over the rules. It's like, you're not allowed to use it in sporting events or classes or exams or anything like that. But all he says is, use it well. It's like, well, if he had that before he went back to school, I'm pretty sure he would have used it on that girl. Yeah, folks, I went back there. But anyway, so they got the Quidditch tryouts. And Ginny has the best freaking step in ever. Shut it! It's like, yeah.
Yeah, you can tell she
Go,
comes from
girl.
a big family.
Oh yeah, she's got to keep her brothers in line somehow. So they do the or you see Cormac McLagan. Gosh, what a bad name for anybody. Who looks charming and debonair and all that shit, and he's just trying to get into Hermione's pants. I mean, just so badly. And she's crushing on Ron. And Ron's having trouble, but he's still kind of hanging on by the skin of his teeth, blocking all those shots. And, well, you see McLagan just doing it like it's nobody's business until a small little confundus. And he just goes, whoa, the other way. And it's like, yeah, that's not how the confundus charm works. The confundus charm does not move a broom.
She confunded the broom.
Yeah, but in the book, she confunds him.
Yes, I know.
Good evening, Spartan Flash Sentry. Good to see you. And he says good evening to the ladies as well.
Good evening.
The ladies is... Dude, Spartan Flash Sentry is Spartan Flash Golem. The ladies is... Yeah, it's very easy to confound you, Soul Assassin.
I'm confunded.
Confunded. Yeah, good point. Confunded. Well,
shows you
anyway.
he's got the confundus spell. He spelled it wrong.
Yeah. So Ron makes the team, and shoot, I completely forgot what scene was next.
The celebration in the main room, where Lavender runs up and kisses him.
Yeah.
No, that was after the first game or the Quidditch match.
Oh, true.
And because but anyway, Harry goes to his first memory lesson with Dumbledore.
Right.
And this movie basically could have also had a subtitle, Knowing Your Enemy, because this is what Dumbledore was doing. He was giving Harry private lessons to learn more about the boy who became a Slytherin man. The one in future Dark Wizard. Or the once in future Dark Wizard, but yeah. So basically he has the blast to the past where we see a younger Michael Gambon Dumbledore that's supposed to be looking like Jude Law at the time. I mean, if they really wanted to, they could literally do that too. But
overthinking.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for bringing me back there.
I need it myself sometimes.
Yep. So Dumbledore basically he's like, or you could tell right off that this kid is fucking twisted. He's like, I can talk to animals, or I can understand animals. I can make people hurt, or I can do things to people who are not nice to me. I can make them hurt. It's like, yeah, this kid is twisted. I mean, there's been horrible incidences. It's like, seriously? How you doing, according to Christy? Thank you for dropping in.
Hey, Christy.
Hey, Christy.
Sup, as host? Yeah. Hi. Love you too, girl. And Nancy Reed. Hello.
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 Cool. Long time since I read or watched Harry Potter, so very cool. Yeah. And so, it's like he tells him that thievery is not, and this is where you actually get a sense that, or a sense into Riddle. He collects trophies of significance. So when you learn about, according to Christy, is drunk as fuck. Okay, good to know.
On that fireball, right, girl?
Awesome, girl. I love a drunk audience. Gets the laughs going a lot more. Soul Assassin, tell some jokes. Anyway, so you get that sense from Tom Riddle that and just as Dumbledore's walking away, I can also talk to snakes. And it's like, is that normal for a guy like, or for someone like us? Now, it's answered in the book. He's like, it's not unheard of. But I love the question that Harry asks. Did you know then that I just met the most the most dangerous dark wizard in the world? No, I didn't. At least he was honest.
Yeah.
Harry Potter no like a Voldemort. Voldemort is asshole. Dumbledore, don't trust Tom. Tom is asshole. There you go.
That's just so funny.
Freaking Lethal plays that so many times. That the original clip of that. But anyway, so then they go to or then he's like, you didn't bring back Slughorn just to teach potions. No, I did not. You said he wanted to collect me. Yes. Shit, you want me to let him? Yes. It's like, he's just being totally upfront with him. That level of, how you doing, AFK? Good to see you.
AFK.
Damn it, Mongo.
Okay.
You jumped the chat on me as I was about to do her thing. Hail Harry Potheads. You're damn right, girl. I mean, I'm not going to tell you whether or not it did anything, but yeah. Soul Assassin, eating mozzarella cheese out of the bat. Hey, according to Christy, full disclosure, I do too sometimes.
That mozzarella cheese out of the bag, girl.
Mozzarella cheese.
I'm just saying, if you cannot pronounce tequila, you need to cut back. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
She did tequila. She does fireball.
No, I know that. My former mother-in-law, when she would get hammered, she couldn't say tequila, and it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen.
How'd she say it?
Tequila. She would trip all over it in every way possible.
Nice.
It would be hilarious.
Awesome.
Not that I ever saw her drink tequila, but yeah, it was.
Yeah, Soul Assassin, tequila.
Yeah, that was one version.
That is aptly titled Tequila. I don't mess with that.
Nope. Out fireball, drink tequila.
Tequila 2, tequila 3, tequila 4.
Tequila. 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 Alrighty. Yeah. So Harry gets into the Slug Club, and so doesn't Granger, and they have we'll go straight to no, wait. They go to Hogsmeade.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where stuff starts to go awry. And they get into the Hogshead. He's like, anybody fancy a butterbeer? Because they're freaking stalking Slughorn at this point. It's like, seriously, wow, you're going that route. Direct. Love it. Thumbs up, buddy. So he's like, no, sit next to me. Okay. It's like, really? Yeah, sit next to me. It's like, okay. So then freaking Ron sees his sister kissing Dean, or as they call it, snogging. It's like, what? I mean, seriously.
Snogging.
What? Snogging?
Snogging.
Sounds like snuggling. Snogging. I mean, I can see Johnny Depp dressed up as a freaking Samurai Jack, Captain Jack saying snogging for some weird reason. It's just I could just see that going in my head. Snogging. But anyway, he's like, I'd like to leave. What? You gotta be nuts. I mean, imagine if she saw you snogging me. Would you expect her to just get up and leave? It's like, dude, she is drunk and she only took a sip of that butterbeer.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I did notice that.
She was a lightweight.
Like,
also, what is the drinking age for kids in
that's what I'd like
Britain?
to know.
That's actually one of the things, again, because I mentioned about the will. They mention in this book, because Harry had just turned 17, I think it was, that he was
16?
16?
16, year 6.
Okay. Either way, 17. I think was 17 that made him a legal adult.
Adults. Yeah.
Yes. So
they're getting drunk at 16. They're drinking underage at school, folks. Yeah, there you go. Professor Snape should say in his Snapey voice, snogging. Snogging. Yes, I can almost do his voice. Mr. Snogging, I see. Potter. Yeah. I love that.
If you haven't seen Benedict Cumberbatch doing his impression of Alan Rickman, particularly some of his impressions, you need to see that.
Okay, I need to see that then, because I love Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh, I'm gonna be looking that up. Like, after
he does I think it's a Snoop Dogg song.
Oh God,
in Alan Rickman's voice. It's
no way.
Off the hook.
I'm looking that up.
I definitely have to find that.
Yeah, I'm looking that up after this.
Yeah.
Sounds like an Austin Powers villain.
It sounds like somebody.
But anyway, so Katie Bell got imperioused, and she's and her friend Lena is like trying to talk her out, but her skin touches the cursed package. She's going flying up, showing some really good teeth. I mean, who's her dentist? But yeah.
Professor knows the one.
Yeah. I got a gin and juice. Ho, ho, ho. God, nice.
Oh, way. Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Okay. Yeah. I need to clip that. I must clip that.
Clip what?
Actually, according to Carol, butterbeer does have beer in it. Just depends on how much it's actually cooked. Because if you go off of the traditional recipe, which is an 18th century one, and considering most of the stuff that J.K. Rowling actually did was based off of actual things, yes, this is, again, my Ravenclaw showing. But there is an actual 18th century recipe for butterbeer, which is largely actually butter and beer.
Yeah. It's greasy. It gets you drunk. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
underage drinking. Never. But yeah, so now I can't remember if it was in the book that Hagrid was the one that helped or brought her to the castle. But it's like, but also, we all know that Hagrid's a bit dim when it comes to magic and stuff because he was expelled in his 3rd year. How the hell does he know not to touch that thing? And only about the wrappings? It's like, look at Professor Hagrid Dumbledore. Nice. And I just love it. Okay, you can go, Lena. Why is it that whenever something happens, it's always you 3? Believe me, Professor, I've been asking myself that for 6 years.
Yep. I'm kind of like, why are you surprised?
Exactly. So,
I love Maggie Smith.
Yeah, Dame Maggie Smith, man, she is flipping awesome. I love that woman. I've seen her throughout so many great movies, especially Sister Act movies. She is just the baddest
Sister Act,
in that
Divine
movie.
Secrets of the Sisterhood. That woman is fire no matter what she's in.
Absolutely.
Exactly. She has range. So, then you see Harry. It's like, or you see him. It's like, it was Malfoy. That's a serious accusation. Indeed, your evidence? Just a feeling. Or I just know. You just know. How wonderful it must be, Harry, or you astound us, Harry Potter. How grand it must be to be the chosen one. He just can't stop. Snape just can't stop. Now, they should have put in or at least one class of Professor Snape's dark arts. Because, oh my God, they do it in the book and it's just so great. It's like, defense against the dark arts. That's more like the dark arts, man. This dude is absolutely in love with this shit.
Seriously. That is definitely one of those ones that they one class.
Yeah.
I mean, you gave us one. You gave us a class with Umbridge.
Yeah, I know. Right?
This is somebody who always wanted this post. You're not going to show us why.
I mean, I do love that when Umbridge was interviewing him, and you were unsuccessful. Obviously. And then you see freaking Weasley sniggering about it. And as she's walking away, you see freaking Snape just smack. But anyway, so then they get to the game, the very first game, and it's time.
Which
and
is
Ronald
one
Weasley.
of those side stories that they left behind. Ron is our
and
king.
Ronald Weasley is, Oh yeah, that's right. And Ronald Weasley is also nervous as hell. He goes, sits down at the table, trying to take his mind off of things, and what does he look down at? A freaking bullseye with toast points. I'm like, boy, you guys are really laying it on thick for this kid. And that's when you get Harry, and that's when you get freaking Hufflepuff. What's her name with the lion's head coming in? It's like, dude, they took that straight out of the book, and that is awesome.
Dude, she's Ravenclaw.
Oh shit, that's right. I thought she was Hufflepuff. Sorry, I forgot she was Ravenclaw.
She's a good friend, but she's brilliant.
Yes, she is indeed. She's brilliant, but also crazy. But yeah. Anyway, she's like, "Is that why you put something in his drink? Is it a tonic?" And then you see Harry just hide it. It's like, "Don't drink it, Ron." Ron he's like, he looks at himself, smiles, and he just slogs it. And he's like, "Go on, Harry, we got to drink or Gatorade. You could be expelled for that." I don't know what you're talking about. Now imagine if she actually did what the normal snooty Hermione would usually do in this situation. How you doing, ABC? Good to see you, man. What an ass,
Hey,
what a
ABC.
bitch, what a Harry Potter cuck. Orange hat, you punk Hufflepuffs is for bad characters and Luna is a good character. Yes, you are very true. Mea culpa, my friend, mea culpa. So according to Christy has, and according to Carol, parody account. Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just love it. Ron is basically doing everything that McLagan was doing in tryouts, like showing off, kicking ass, and taking names, doing all those hero poses, and everybody's going or rooting for him in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "You really shouldn't have done it." Yeah, I know. I mean, I could have probably used a Confundus charm.
Yeah.
Basically telling her, yeah, it's like, what, you really thought I didn't know that you pulled that shit during the tryouts to help Ron? That was different. This was practice. It's not real. And then he shows her the bottle. It's not even open.
Mm-hmm.
He basically did the whole psychological thing on him.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked like a damn charm. Now, so then Lavender just goes for it, pulls him down, and just rips into his lips like there's no stopping. And that's when Hermione, it's like Hermione is looking at everything, and it just shatters. I literally, when I saw this movie, I started crying because I could feel that pain from her, man. It was coming off of her in waves. She did a brilliant job acting that out. She did a phenomenal job acting that out. And she's like, "Harry, how does it feel when you see Dean with Ginny?" And he's like, "Oh." She's like, "I know. I see the way you look at her." And she has the freaking birds flying around her head.
Mm-hmm.
This is pure straight out of the book, man. And then, well, in true freaking bimbo fashion, Lavender comes in with Ron. Whoops! I think this room's taken. It's like, wow. I mean, if she wasn't so hurt, she would have probably hit you with a killing curse. But instead, she goes full Alfred Hitchcock. With the Apugno.
With the birds, yeah.
With frick on Ron, and Ron's like looking at her like, "You bitch." It's like confusion, but also rage in his eyes. It's like, okay, that's fine, bitch, whatever. But what lab and I have? It's like, what lab I have? It's chemical. There's no stopping it. It's not my fault. She's got her knickers in it. It's like, dude, really? You pulled this shit in the first year. Did you not think that pulling it in the 6th year, when she's hormonal, that it wouldn't be worse? I mean, in the book, they actually went into his face.
Wow.
In the movie, they went against the doors. Yeah.
I would have liked to see them.
Have you guys mentioned Lavender actress change? Wait, they changed the actress?
They did?
They did?
When?
ABC, which movie did they change it? Please let me know. But I do know that I think she actually, or the actress that plays Lavender Brown in the later films, also played in Vampire Diaries.
Oh.
The one in this film and the final one is the same actress. Whether Lavender Brown is in the earlier movies as different, I'm not sure.
Yeah, because she's not as pronounced of a character yet. She was black in the first 3 movies. No, I do not remember that. We are definitely going to have to go back and look. In fact, I'll do that right now while we're talking.
She was the first. I know in the book she's the first one mentioned in the Sorting Hat. So if there's anywhere where we would see her, that would be the scene I would go for.
Brown actress. I'm looking it up right now.
Yep.
Jessica Alice Cave Lloyd.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. And Jennifer Smith. So yeah. There were 2 actresses that played her. One was black, one was white.
Wow.
Jennifer Smith portrayed Lavender Brown in the film adaptation of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. She replaced Lavender Brown's former actress Kathleen Cawley, who played her in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then then they whitewashed her apparently. Damn.
Wow.
Who'd have thunk?
Points, ABC.
Well.
Yeah, there you go, man. 20 points to ABC.
Wow.
Yeah. Holy shit. So there was actually 2 black actresses that played her. Damn.
Hmm.
The shit you learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chat's
Good.
awesome.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. So where was I? Oh yeah. Then they do the whole roundabout the castle, seeing Lavender and freaking Ron kissing, and you see Malfoy just out there. It's like, dude, why don't you just howl at the moon? I mean, you're sulking, dude. Just freaking let out a good howl. It might do you some good. So anyway,
I know the way he's sneaking around, he might as well be saying it. Sneak, 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 sneak.
Yeah. Also, during all this time, freaking Malfoy, I should say, because we haven't really gotten or talked about that yet, he's actually working on a cabinet in the room of requirement. He's disappearing off the Marauders map, and he's in that thing. He puts an apple in there first.
Yep.
Harmonia Nectaria passes. It comes back with a chunk bitten out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, how do you know it's broken? I mean, somebody could have just taken a bite. But then he sends the bird. The bird goes. You hear at Borgin and Burks because they send it back. And it comes back. The bird's dead, and he's crying like a little bitch in the freaking room of requirement. It's like, it's a bird, man. You're crying over a bird.
How are you supposed to kill
You're
Dumbledore?
Draco freaking Malfoy.
Yeah.
You call Muggleborns mudbloods like it's nothing. You're crying over a bird.
But that I'm glad they showed that, because that made his switch in the following book understandable.
Yes,
because you get that you get those glimpses of, no, this really isn't him.
True. Indeed, it does show that he is kind of in too deep and whatnot, and he doesn't want to do this, but it's really of a duality of Malfoy's mind. Bird is the word I hear. Jesus, soul assassin. Bad, so wet. But anyway, yeah, I did that, folks. Clip that if you want. So, the Slughorn party, and how Hermione has to make more drastic plans because she wanted to take Ron, and so she's like, he's perfectly capable of snugging whoever the hell he wants to. Was I under the impression that I'd be taking him to Slughorn's party? Yes. Now I've had to change my plans. Who are you taking? It's a surprise. Well, or why? Well, I was thinking because we didn't each have dates, we could have just gone together as friends. Why didn't I think of that? And she's like, but anyway, it's you we got to worry about. Look over there. You see that girl? Yeah, that's Ramilda Vane. And she wants to, or she's going to try smuggling you a love potion.
Love potion.
Really? And she's like, hey, focus. She's only interested in you because she thinks you are the chosen one. But I am the chosen one. And so she just smacks him. He's like, all right, sorry. Hey, all right. I'll take somebody fun or somebody cool, somebody fun, somebody I like. It's flipping, what's her name again?
Luna.
In the loudest bell dress I have ever seen. Fucking Luna Lovegood, man. It's like, okay, yeah, dude, Debonair Harry with ringing bells, Luna.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They
Okay,
were
let's
eating
go.
Dragon Balls. Very good, ABC.
Yep. Weren't they eating dragon? I love that. And she's like, I just escaped. Or I left McLagan under the mistletoe. And somebody comes in. Dragon Daughter. Oh, no, thank you. Well, just as well. I give horrible breath.
It doesn't make any sense because it's a weapon.
What was that?
That was called My Phone Had the Volume Up.
Okay. Anyway, that's, yeah. So she's like, well, it might help keep McLagan at bay, and she just starts wolfing that shit down. And I'm like, really? Oh God, here it comes. It's like, so she ducks out, and he's like, slippery minx, your friend, probably going to, or friend, or something about something, and he's like, yeah. What is this I'm eating, by the way? Dragon Balls. And then Snape shows up. It's like, where the hell did he come from? And Snape's looking at both of them like, what the hell are you two doing back here? Congratulations, McLagan. You just bought yourself a month's worth of detentions. Mm-hmm. Not so fast, Potter. It's just, oh my God, this movie is just so freaking great. He's like, besides, or like, I really should get back. Who can survive 1 or 2 more minutes without you? Besides, I only want to convey a message. I don't want to kill you right now. So, I mean, it would. He could have said it like that, and it would have.
That's pretty close to how we said it too.
Yeah, he's. It's like this is the most uncomfortable thing for Snape to do, is be kind to Harry.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Because he hates, let's face it, folks, he hates Harry with a passion because Harry reminds him of, well, we're not going to get into that because that's spoilers. Anyway, so he's like, he's traveling, you see, and he won't be back until term resumes. Yeah. He's looking like every other, traveling where? And then he just walks off. And then freaking Filch, Jesus Christ. Filch comes in and brings a mouthful. Get your hands off me, you filthy squib! And it's like, dude, seriously.
Not you just names, jeez.
Yeah, man. He's like, I found this boy lurking in the upstairs corridor. He says he's been involved. Okay, I was gate crashing. And this is where you hear it, basically. I'll escort him out. Certainly, Professor. It's like, yeah, nothing sinister going on there, man. Why don't you just broadcast it on a radio, mind you? And then he's like, so what if I hex that bell girl? What if I did? What if I didn't? And then Snape just puts him right up against the wall. It's like, damn, dude. I swore to protect you. I made an unbreakable vow. And now in the book, Malfoy, he's like, that's your problem. Mm-hmm. But he's like, you're afraid, Draco. You try to conceal it, but you can't. Because the thing is, Snape is a very talented Legilimens. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't need to do like he did in the 5th movie where he uses his wand. He can do it just as much as Dumbledore can with his eyes. Yep. As long as the person is looking at you eye to eye, you can take a peek behind the hood, so to speak. Anyway.
Much like the one girl in Fantastic Beasts.
Yep, she is a natural born. She's a natural born Legilimens, meaning she can't control it at all. Yep. It just hits in her head, and yeah, she cannot just turn that off. She's natural born. Now, so they're on the train. He's like, an unbreakable vow. You sure that's what it is? And then there's Lavender comes up and doing the whole obsessive thing. He's like, I can't stand this woman anymore, man. My lips are getting chapped. Look. He's like, I'll take your word for it, man. Get away from me with that shit. So what happens if you break an unbreakable vow? You die.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't tell you how Ron knows this exactly. but it's a fun story because freaking Fred and George tried to get him to do it with one of them, and their mother almost killed them both.
Yeah.
It's like, don't ever do that shit. So, yeah, they're all at the burrow, and Remus is talking to Harry, and you also see Tonks with her rat brown hair. And it's like, I love the hairdo, Tonks, but your shorter hairstyle that you had before was kind of cooler. But yeah.
Well, her hair is largely driven by her mood.
Yes, true. And she keeps it because what's her name, or his name, was actually related to her. Sirius Black.
Mm-hmm.
And her Patronus changed after Sirius died.
That's not the only reason
Mm-hmm.
why her hair was like that and her Patronus changed. Because her Patronus changed into a wolf.
Mm-hmm.
Which was also signifying the feelings that she was developing for Remus.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why she was struggling with the emotions, and because Remus didn't want to get involved because he was a werewolf.
Yes. And that actually comes later on in the book, or in book 7, which we'll discuss in one of the original, or in 2 weeks' time. So they're talking
they do touch
about
on it in this book, though.
Yes, they do. Now they do. Or you got freaking Harry also sitting with Ginny. Ginny comes and open up you. It's like, 16 and a 15-year-old. This is just freaking creepy. But hey, man, Wizarding World, people are mature a lot quicker, I guess. But damn, they're just laying it on thick.
Again, I plead the fifth because on grounds of incriminate me.
Yeah. Now, then Ron comes in, big brother. Dude, it's like big brother just comes in. It's like, yep, I'm going to interrupt you two. You are not kissing on my watch. And he's like, you guys want a pastry? No? Okay, I'll eat them right here in front of you. Yep. And so then they take out or Mr. Weasley takes Harry out, gives him a talking to about Dumbledore traveling and Malfoy, Borgin and Burks. The Vanishing Cabinet's still there. Well, then shit doesn't hit the fan yet. Harry's about to get a nice little tender moment with Ginny because she's also in her bathrobe, which is like, what, she just take a shot. This is getting real weird now.
The motorcycles?
Yeah, there was a motorcycle Hagrid dropped by just to drop off a little Harry Potter package. But yeah, then you hear you see Lupin just ears up, eyes out, and Tonks is like first night of the cycle is always the hardest or most difficult and whatnot. Ginny is fine. Yes. She's certainly grown into a fine young woman. I will say that. But saying that no. Yeah. Anyway, Bonnie Wright is her real name in real life. She's like, what, 20-something now?
Yeah.
Now, anyway, that's when Bellatrix shows up with a lovely, fiery entrance. And the second Harry sees her, he's like, kiss later, gotta kill. He just runs out there. It's like, oh yeah, you're dead, woman. He's going out there with every intent to just go full Avada Kedavra. And you hear the same, and here's the thing, folks. If you really pay attention to her saying, I killed Sirius Black, it's the same audio from the 5th movie. It's like, Really? Why are you guys recycling audio?
Because they can.
That's lazy. Now, then Fenrir or Jenny gets out there because she's so smitten with Harry at the time. And it's like, yeah, it's like, that's my man. Need to protect my man. And Mr. Weasley goes after her while the other two are fighting off some flaming snakes. And it's like, then Fenrir comes in with his wand. Again, if you know the lore, he is not allowed to have a wand. Not even Voldemort would give him a wand. Because he doesn't trust werewolves enough. Voldemort is actually smart in this.
Yeah.
Screw Bellatrix. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of fans who would want to. AFK. To be honest, there's a lot of people that are into crazies.
Yeah,
Not me personally, though, but... Say what?
Depends on where she hits on that crazy hot scale for you.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, she certainly dresses for the part, though. Yeah, definitely. I mean, freaking bustier and all that stuff. But yeah, so they're all having a lovely little swamp duel. And they're actually holding their own, too.
Hmm.
And then they realize they're kind of outmatched, so they give a little two hisses to each other and say, hiss, hiss, let's go. We're outmatched. And then they burn down the burrow.
Yeah, that broke my heart with the burrow getting burned down.
And I'm like, I don't remember that in the book, but I could be wrong.
No, I'm pretty sure that was in the book. Because that was a necessary blow, because that was one of Harry's homes.
Yep, that is true. So, Bellatrix, sorceress in the streets, witch in the sheets. There you go, man. There you go.
Witch in the street, Slytherin in the sheets.
There you go. Hey.
Well, you know, I actually
Soul
did see a
assassin, she just one-upped you there.
I did see a T-shirt at Universal that said Gryffindor in the streets, Slytherin in the sheets.
There you go.
I'm so not kidding.
Why did you not buy that?
Because it was someone's homemade T-shirt. It wasn't like one that you could buy at Universal. Someone had like made it.
Well, damn, you should have found out where they made it, because that's helping, or that's assisting other independent business owners.
Yeah, I could have.
Anyway, better version Mads. Soul assassin concedes to Mads. Never thought I'd see the day. Anyway, so they get back, and this is where everything, or another lesson with the mind of Voldemort. Now, I like the other lessons too, where there's more memories that he learns and whatnot. And I just got a message from my dad. That'll have to wait. So, okay, group trip to Harry Potter Land with Lorena Creel. When? She already went.
Yeah, you'd have to go with me again in like December.
Yeah. And
so cool,
he's, yeah. So they go to the 6th year of Tom Riddle talking to, and with the altered memory. And it's slightly different from the book because there's actually 2 interruptions in the memory in the book. Now, the movie, you just see him, he's like, don't ever talk to me about that shit. Get the hell out of my freaking place. And don't you ever come back with her. And it's like, yeah, it's also a lie. Now, I actually saw a video where somebody's like, why didn't Dumbledore just use Legilimens against or on Slughorn? Well, it's actually explained in the book. Also, why wouldn't he use Veritaserum or anything else? Well, Dumbledore wouldn't use the Imperious Curse. That's illegal. Veridiserum, well, after he asked Slughorn for the memory, you honestly think he wouldn't, or Slughorn, a master potions maker, would not be carrying an antidote with an antidote to Veridiserum with him on his body every freaking second of every day. And Legilimens, he's also he would be expecting it. So Harry has to get the real memory, and Harry just goes full direct on this. It's like, is that what you told Tom Riddle years ago when he was asking questions? It's like, seriously? Harry, bull in a china shop, man. Not effective. So Harry is like, or he's like, tries again. Well, he gets quickly shut down. And then Ron has had one too many love potion chocolates and smacks Harry because Harry is like, or thinks that he's joking around. He's like, I'm in love with her. Love with who? Romilda, of course. Romilda Vane. And then he finds out, oh, shit. Okay, Ron, I'm going to take you to see Romilda Vane. You want to go, buddy? Yeah? Let's go. Sorry, Professor, I wouldn't bother if this wasn't really important. What's wrong with Wendy? He's always getting his name wrong. And so he's like, very powerful love potion. All right, bring him in. Whatever. All right, and sorry about that, sir. About our earlier mishap. He's like, yeah, water under the bridge. Well, I'm pretty sure you're kind of always sick and tired of the questions, about Voldemort. Don't use that name! It's like, wow, man, snap. And Ron hugs up against Slughorn. It's like, hey, honey, fancy a drink? What the fuck?
I don't see why you didn't try making this potion. I thought it should be made with more practiced hands.
Yeah, perhaps you're right. Yeah. So then he's like, what's this? Tonic for the nerves. And then he drinks. He's like, what the hell happened to me? Very powerful. Or love potion, kid. Yeah, very powerful love potion. More powerful than I've seen. And for Slughorn, a potions master, you got to wonder, who the hell's, or how the hell did Romilda Vane get a hold of a love potion that's very powerful unless she made it her damn self?
Yep.
And so
there's part of me that can't help but wonder if he's like, he wants to find out who slipped that love potion just to give points to her class.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's him. That's high praise coming from a potions master.
Yeah.
This is quite a powerful love potion.
Are
you a distance away from your microphone because you're kind of
really low?
Yeah, your volume's low.
Thought it was me.
Is that better?
Slightly. But anyway, so then they pull out some the real good stuff. Mm-hmm. And Ron takes he just, before they even or as they're toasting, Ron's just drinking and he just drops. And it's like, stroking, man. Somebody acted. Professor Slughorn, potions master extraordinaire, does not realize that a kid has been poisoned right in front of him. I'm like, gonna do something there, Professor? Or are you just gonna stand there looking like an idiot? Well, Harry to the rescue with a Bezoar. Just shut her. Now in the book, or for a certain poison that they were talking about, he's like, just shove a Bezoar down his throat. In the book, just shove a Bezoar down his throat. Well,
literally, it's in the book. In the book.
Yeah, it's in the book. In the book. In the book. That's in the book. And so Harry gets a Bezoar, puts it in it, or shoves it down Ron's throat, and forces him to swallow. And he's like, "These girls, they're gonna kill me." And then he faints. And I'm like, okay, so we're in the hospital wing. And as the teachers are talking about how heroic it is, why was it necessary, they're talking. Then here comes Lavender. Where's my 1-1? Where's your what?
It's crazy.
1-1, woman.
I wanted to choke her out as soon as she said 1-1.
I know, right? It's like, are you flipping shitting me?
No, she was dead serious.
And she's like, what is she doing here? I can ask you the same question. I happen to be his girl. I happen to be his friend.
His friend.
Don't make me laugh. You haven't talked in weeks. I guess you really like him now because he's all interest. He's been poisoned, you daft dimbo. At first when she said it, I thought she said bimbo. I honestly thought she said bimbo. But it was dimbo.
Dimbo.
It's like, what? She says dimbo.
It sounded like bimbo, but I was just like, that seemed kind of out of place considering they're in Britain.
And if you watch with caps on, it's Dimbo.
Yeah. Mads, you're back to low volume again.
Yeah, I can't. You sound like you're underwater and very low.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can fix that.
Cast a reset spell on your microphone there, Mads.
Actually, that might have to be the problem. Give me a second, I'll be back in.
All right.
That's good.
She apparated. Inside Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Damn. Awesome. Now, alrighty, here she is. She's back.
Is that better?
Much better.
Much better.
A phone call came through mid chat, so.
Oh, yikes.
Messes it up when I'm on the phone.
Yeah. So then you hear Ron mumble, my Hermione.
Having a wet dream in the middle of the.
Yeah, and freaking Hermione looks at him after it comes out clearly Hermione, and well, then Lavender runs out whining, to be young and to feel love's keen sting. I'm like, Trollmaster, Dumbledore level. Give him a hand, folks. Give him a hand. And come away, everybody. And then Ginny's like, about time, huh? And he's looking at Hermione, and Hermione's like, oh, shut up. It's like, oh, shut up. And then she like looks at him smiling, and it's like, so then he's back and he's eating, and he's like, tell me again how I broke up with Lavender while she's looking at them ready to ready to shove that spoon in his chest and just start carving. And he's like, well,
she also looks like she's forgetting to breathe.
Yeah, that too. I mean, she's also sitting with a bunch of third years by the looks of it. Those kids look like they're like 2 years younger than they are, or 3 years younger than they are. And she's just sitting there with them, and she's like, it's like, she does. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm glad to be shot of her, but she seems a bit put out. Yeah, she does, doesn't she? Yeah. And as soon as they look at her, she just perks up a little bit. She's like, and it's like, if we could read minds, what would she be screaming right now? I'm gonna kill you, Ron Weasley, and your little bitch too. I mean, let's face it, that's exactly what she would be saying. She would go full Wicked Witch on them.
Oh yeah.
So then Katie Bell shows up, and Harry goes to see how his Quidditch mate is doing. And who comes in and sees Katie Bell's back with the land of the living? But Draco Malfoy. Now here's something that I wish they had actually brought back, but apparently they couldn't get her back for the role. Moaning Myrtle is actually in the bathroom with Draco Malfoy when Harry trails him.
Mm-hmm.
And Malfoy's actually talking to her, saying that he's going to kill me, and how he feels very bad and remorseful. And what does Harry do the second he goes, I know what you did, Malfoy. You hexted it. It's like, dude, seriously? You can't see that this kid's crying? What's wrong with you, you bully? I mean, seriously, bully Potter in this, or this is Potter. It's like, dude, really? I mean, I know you guys. Go ahead.
Can I just raise the questions of the teaching staff in this school? Because you have two teenage boys in the girls' lavatory.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah.
And they just start going full on wizard duel with each other. Yeah. And then Harry uses the spell, Sectum Sempra, and slices into Malfoy like death of 1,000 cuts. Now, how Snape shows up in there in the movie, nobody knows. It's like, oh shit, I got to be protecting Draco because Draco freaking dies, I die.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, Myrtle was comforting him, AFK. Now, then in the book, it is completely different. He's like, Potter, you stay. You bring me your potions book right now. He knows that the only way that Potter could know that spell is if Snape unwittingly taught him it by proxy of his own book.
Mm-hmm.
And Snape, now in the book, Harry takes the book, goes straight to the room of requirement to hide his book, the same place where that vanishing cabinet is, by the way. The same actual room area or dimension. And also, you see a bust with a crown on it. Lovely foreshadowing.
Yes.
And so he hides the book and he brings back freaking Ron Weasley's book with one of his brother's play quills in there. Who is Ronald Weaselby or Juan Weaselby or something? He's like, oh, that's a nickname from my girlfriend. Yeah. Well, instead, they go a totally different route. Harry's looking at that book like, get that damn thing away from me and never come back. And Ginny comes up, you got to get rid of it today. It's like, this is an intervention. We're here for you, but goddamn it, you got to get rid of this thing.
I mean, you're top.
And then they go into the room of requirement. Yes, she actually did raise a ruckus. Not in the book, but she did raise a ruckus to get people's attention after Harry sliced and diced Malfoy.
Mm-hmm.
So Ginny goes up, helps Harry hide it, and then gives him a kiss, and it's like, then her brother comes around. So did you and Ginny do it? What?
What?
What? It was like, did you get rid of the book? Oh, yeah. Then they see Slughorn. No luck with Slughorn, huh? We're going to go a little over the normal 2-hour mark because, well, we're also going to have to, we'll skip a bit stuff. But yeah, it is a big book. Now, he's like, no luck with Slughorn. Luck! That's what I need is luck! Pull out the Felix Felicis. He drinks the whole damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, book is slightly different here, Lorena. I remember you're in book 5, but 6, it's different. He only takes like 3 drops of it in the book
for a couple hours.
Yeah, he's like, okay, Slughorn. It's just then he goes for a walk. Right, I'm going to Hagrid's. What? So it's like, yeah. I mean, the whole Ginny Weasley thing doesn't happen until after Hagrid's, where her and Harry kiss.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, wow, man. So he runs into freaking Slughorn down at Madame Sprout's greenhouse or greenery or whatever it's called in British terms. He's like, oh, Harry. Yeah, personally, these plants sort of freak me out. Oh, have a good one, Professor. Harry, he's like, I was just going to see Hagrid. He's a very dear friend. I just wanted to go. Harry, sir. I just like, sir. It's like, you do realize I can't let you freaking go out by yourself. Well, by all means, come along, sir. He's like, Harry, I must insist we go back to the Castle of Woods. That would be counterproductive, sir. What does that mean? No idea. And so Aragog, sadly, is dead. Now, this Aragog is, like, way smaller
Yeah, he was
than
smaller.
what we saw in year 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that's not Aragog. That would probably be Aragog Jr. or Aragog's wife. But then again, Aragog's wife would probably be a million times bigger, so that's probably Aragog. Yeah, let's just say it's Aragog. But anyway, it's like, is that an actual acromantula? Yeah. My boy, how'd you ever manage to kill it? Kill it? It's my best friend, man.
Was.
Oh, man, I don't want to sound indelicate, but acromantula venom is very rare, and purely for academic purposes, of course. Well, I don't suppose why he's not going to. My thoughts exactly. It's like, though, he's like, my thoughts exactly. He just goes there, rips off one of the damn mandibles.
Yeah,
and he's like, it's the eyes.
After the funeral, they go back to his hut, and which leads into more. I got no other way of putting it. Pillaging. Because Hagrid's hut has unicorn hair. It's got all sorts of stuff that is worth a mint on the magical black market. And Slughorn just goes to town.
Oh, yeah. Slughorn basically discovered El Dorado when he went into Hagrid's hut.
Yeah, he walked in the door. You heard the same thing from the Wizard of Oz. You're out of the woods, you're out of the dark, you're out of the night.
Yeah, it's like, so in the movie now, they're freaking just getting drunk and singing, and Slughorn's talking about how he had a lovely little fish, and then suddenly it just poof. But that's life. That's live, and they're freaking drunk. They're drunk like it is, man. And then freaking Hagrid just head smack, sleep, snore. There you go. And Harry, he's like, or Slughorn's like, I know why you're here, or tells him about who gave him Francis the fish and how it was Lily, and the night that he went to check or found the petal in the bowl was the night that his mom died. And he's like, I know why you're here, but I can't help you. It would ruin me. He's like, and Harry, under Felix Felicis, goes full brutal. He goes full brutal on Slughorn. He's like, otherwise, you disgrace her memory. She would have died for nothing. The bowl will remain empty. I'm like, man, that's harsh.
Side note, I'm always there screaming at the screen afterwards. He says that, going, it'll remain empty anyway. She's still dead.
I know, right? But that moment where he's like, do not think less of me when you see this. You don't understand how he was back then. He was very persuasive. He was very charming. He was a different person. Even though he was evil as fuck, he was still very seductive, so to speak.
Actually, that's a good way to describe it.
Yeah. And so they see it and they learn about Horcruxes, how you split your soul. How do you do it? Well, you kill people. And they find out that the ring is a Horcrux, the book is a Horcrux, and then Harry Potter touches the ring, sees Nagini striking at him, Tom Riddle screaming, and a bunch of other things, and then he just cracks his neck like that, like I just did, actually. And he's like, yeah. Oh. Now, my question to you guys.
Why didn't he have that reaction in year 2?
Huh?
Why didn't he have that reaction in year 2 when he touched the book the first time?
Well, this was the ring that he touched, but yes, why didn't he have that reaction when he touched another Horcrux or a dead Horcrux or whatever?
He touched an active Horcrux and had no problem.
Yeah. It's like, what is going on? And I just love how the ring was spinning, because if you look at this ring, and I'll actually bring it up right here, this is the bottom of the ring, folks. There's the ring. This is the bottom of the ring, so it could spin. And now, if you were to just pop somebody like that with this damn thing, damn, you could put out a person's eye.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's like dark or magic, especially dark magic, leaves traces. He's like, that's where you've been going. Or he's like, they could be the most commonplace items. First off, right now, that's wrong. Yeah, well, it's right and wrong. Yes, it could be a commonplace item. You could turn it into or you could turn a freaking lampshade into a damn Horcrux if you wanted to. Tom Riddle would not do that. What do we know about Tom Riddle? He's a trophy collector.
Mm-hmm.
Every kid he tortured, he took something off of.
Mm-hmm.
And so we know that it's going to be something significant. So yeah, it's not just going to be. And we learn what the Horcruxes are in this book. The cup, which belonged to a Hufflepuff descendant. We also saw Voldemort as he was not quite looking as snaky as he does now, but kind of getting there when he applied for the post of defense against the dark arts. That was a memory that they didn't show in the movie. And it's like, huh, okay. And he's like, haven't you noticed that nobody's been able to hold the post for more than a year here?
Mm-hmm.
And Harry basically asked me, he's like, it's a cursed post, Harry. Nobody can hold it for more than a year. He cursed it when he was denied. So it's like, yeah, that's why nobody's been able to hold it. I wish they had actually done that in the movie. It would have been so freaking great. So then we're going to go straight to hunting down Horcruxes, going up to the astronomy tower. Has it ever occurred to you in your brilliant mind that I don't want to do this anymore? Whether or not you do is irrelevant. You agreed, Severus. And that's all I'm going to talk about. Get your ass downstairs. And so he basically smacks down Severus. He's like, I don't care, man. You agreed? You're doing it. And Severus looked at Harry like...
Just as you said that, I had this image of Demogeny holding up the baby powder.
Oh my god! What is that even a reference to?
I gotta figure out how to clip that later.
What is that even a reference to?
It's his constant pimp joke. Anytime Alora shows up in the chat, you know.
Oh, he gets baby powder?
Yeah, he goes, here, I got this saved for you.
Oh my gosh. Demogeny is a pimp, indeed, man. He is a player in the management profession.
Yes.
Pimp. But yeah, so the scene where he's like, you need a shave, my friend, and sometimes I see that you're the little boy in the cupboard. Forgive my mawkishness, Harry. I'm an old man. Now, I found another Horcrux. I told you that you can come with me, and I stand by that, but you must do exactly as I tell you. If I tell you to run, you run. If I tell you to hide, you hide. If I tell you to freaking leave me for dead, you leave me for dead. So they go to the cave. They get in the cave. They talk about the potion. How the hell does Dumbledore know what this potion could do? Well, he's wise. That's why. Mm-hmm. He's a freaking omniscient wizard.
Well, he knows enough. He knows enough about Voldemort to know.
Yeah, he knows that it would definitely come at a risk to his life. And he's like, you gotta remember what I told you. You gotta do everything I say, including, if it comes to it, force this shit down my throat.
Yeah, now that was powerful. It's like, wow.
It was. And as you see, it's like, damn, this makes you kind of uncomfortable seeing a young guy shoving a damn potion down. Like, now in the book, there's a sign where he's like, kill me. He's like, this one will kill you, sir. And basically to convince him to keep on drinking, it's like, this will kill you, sir. And yeah. So then he gets to lock it out. And here's where everything goes full on night of the living dead. Water. And we all know, I don't know if Lorena knows this, but Mads has she's a zombie phobe.
Really?
Oh,
yep.
massive.
So when that inferi arm came right out to grab Harry, did you two jump the very first time?
I did not. Strangely enough, maybe because I've seen too many zombie movies. I don't know. I think I was prepared for it because something told me it wasn't going to be that easy.
Yeah.
Something told me it wasn't going to be that easy for them to get out. So when that happened, I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, well, there you go.
I had read the book, but still seeing the arm like that.
Yeah.
How zombie-like they made them.
Yep.
Yeah. No. What? Okay. Look at the floor. It's a very interesting floor.
Yep. So then Harry gets dragged down and freaking Dumbledore just goes full-blown hellfire on all the inferi.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's like, damn, dude, I want that. That, believe it or not, when I first saw that movie, it's like, okay, that's when I realized I wanted the Elder Wand. I'm like, I'm getting that wand.
Okay, somebody needs just side note. Somebody needs to clip Soul Assassin's latest comment, and just so we can show it to Demogena.
Yes. Anybody in the chat, definitely clip this. This is for you, Demogena. We love you, buddy. Hell, Soul Assassin also plugged Demogena.
Yes.
Just for shits.
We are trying to get his hours up.
Yeah, we do need to get his hours up. Now, so they get back to Hogwarts. Now, in the book, there was already a dark mark above them, or above Hogwarts. And the significance of the dark mark is when somebody has been killed. So they're like, get Snape, only Snape. Do not get Pomfrey. Do not get Flitwick. Get fucking Snape. And you bring his ass up here. I mean, basically, it's like, I got to get you to Madam... Right, sir, I'm going to get you to Madam Pomfrey. No, Snape. I mean, in the book, he literally tries to freaking fool Dumbledore. He's like, no, Snape only. Go. And, well, we all know how that handles. Now, Draco shows up. He's like, who are you talking to? I heard somebody else. Well, I talk to myself a lot. Do you whisper to yourself, Draco? Like, dude, that just sounds creepy. But, yeah. So then he's like, how do you know what I do? I've done things that would shock you. Like making a cursed necklace, poisoning a bottle of mead that I would never drink. Honestly, I do not think your heart's in this stuff, man. You're not a killer. I mean, he's basically shutting down Draco in every turn. He's like, I was chosen for this. He trusts me. And he pulls up, showing the dark mark. Well, then I'll make it easy for you. That shows the true genius of Dumbledore right there.
Yeah.
Putting up the wand, showing he's a threat, getting disarmed. Because he knew that it would, or that he knows the relevance of what happens if you are disarmed, or if you disarm somebody else's wand. Especially that wand. But we'll get into that in 6 weeks from now. Or 4 weeks. Something like that. Anyway. Yeah. So, anyway. The other Death Eaters are now here. Greyback, Alecto Caro, and the other Caro. The Caro brother and sister. And another one. And Bellatrix. And Snape is down in the bottom with Harry. He's like, you think that Snape's there to save the day, unless you read the books. And the music swells up. Come on, Draco, now! No. That's when the music stops. And you see Dumbledore look down at Harry one last time. You'd wish that he would just wink at Harry to let him know everything's going to be all right, right? He doesn't. because he realized he would have basically gave it away that somebody's down there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, Severus, please. And he was begging. He wasn't begging for mercy. He was begging to be killed. He was begging to be killed. And what does Severus do? Avada Kedavra.
Yeah.
Puts him right over the tower. And Harry is like torn, like, do I go and catch Dumbledore from falling? Well, he's probably halfway down the tower by now, so I'm going after to kill Snape.
Mm.
So yeah. In true fashion of true evil and whatnot, Bellatrix just starts wrecking Hogwarts and then lights up Hagrid's hut, and you hear from a distance, Snape! He trusted you! And it's like, yikes, yeah. Hellfire Harry Potter. And Harry just comes full on blown, trying to stop Snape, and Snape's just just smacking each spell away. He's like, fight back, you coward! And that's when Bellatrix just smacks him with a spell. He's like, no, he belongs to the Dark Lord. Get your ass out of here now.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, fine, bitch. But then Harry tries using this Sectum Semper again. And that's when Snape just turned around and launches Harry. He just launches him out. He's like, you, in the book, he doesn't just walk up and say, you dare use my own spells against me. He's like, no. He's like, you dare use that shit, my own shit against me. He is pissed. He's like, that's right, Potter. I'm the Half-Blood Prince.
Well, for someone who hasn't read the book,
yeah,
that still came off very poignant when he said that. It's just like, how dare you use my own curse against me? And you're just like, you gotta be kidding me. Because remember in the movie, I think he had asked Slughorn about that particular spell, and he's like, never heard of it before. Ever.
No, that was he asked Hermione.
He asked Hermione.
In the book, they don't show you in the movie how much research the bunch of them put into trying to figure out who the Half-Blood
all these different spells,
is.
And that would kind of make sense, because given you've only got a 2 hour to 2.5 hour movie, it doesn't surprise me that they took that out.
What they did take out, which I think was a real big loss, and they took it out because they didn't want to take away from what they were expecting to be the next movie. After Dumbledore is killed, there is a huge battle at Hogwarts.
Yeah,
the rest of the Dumbledore's army drinks
what's
their present of the Dumbledore's army from the previous year. They drink the Felix Felicis, and they go to all-out war against the Death Eaters that are going through the Hogwarts.
Yep. And one of the things, they barely survive, but it's because of that luck, because somebody threw a death curse or a killing curse that barely hit, or that barely misses Ginny, but they put that in the next, or in the second, or the last movie.
But at the time that they made this movie, they had still planned on doing the last movie as one movie. So they didn't want to take away from the main battle at Hogwarts. And I think if they could go back, they probably would have put that scene in.
Yep. And so then they basically have Harry and Hermione the next scene is basically Harry goes up to to Dumbledore's corpse, and everybody's gathered, and they all dispel the dark mark. I cried like a bitch during that scene. There wasn't a dry eye in the house. I'm telling you that right now. Wasn't a dry eye in the house. There's a YouTube channel called Movie Flame that goes into Harry Potter lore. Y'all might like it. I'll check that out. Soul Assassin. Also start plugging channels, please, Soul. And Twitters for them too. because we are going to start wrapping up. Now, so they are in the astronomy tower. It's like it's a fake. It was all for nothing. And Hermione reads the letter. And how did Regulus know exactly what it was? Something I've always wondered was how he found out what the game was. Because RAB, Regulus Arcturus Black, who was a Death Eater, but got too extreme. We all know he turned back. Now, he's like, Ron's fine with it, by the way, you and Ginny. However, when he's around, it keeps snogging to a minimum. Like, I'm not coming back, Hermione. He's like, I've always admired your bravery, Harry, but sometimes you could be really thick. Do you really think we're going to let you go by yourself? And I wish that Ron would have just came up and like gave him a little nudge on the shoulder. He's like, you're stuck with us, mate. You're not going anywhere without us. And then you see Fawkes for one last time, or doing his round around the castle. And it's like, I wish they had done the funeral. I wish they had done the damn funeral.
Yeah.
The White Tomb. If they would have done the damn funeral with the freaking centaurs, Grop, and everything. And also Dolores Umbridge was there too, looking at Grop like she wanted to kill him. And when she saw the arrows fly, she flinched like a bitch. My question is also, why was she at that funeral? But anyway, yeah, folks, that is the movie. Now, before we do go, Mads, what would you rate this movie out of 10?
I'm going to have to go with a method that you usually do, where the overall movie versus comparing it to the book. Overall movie, I loved it.
Yeah.
Was, good. It had, good flow for it. I'd have to put that at about an 8.5. But with the amount of stuff that they left out, and some of it was kind of vital, I got to drop that down to like 7.
Yeah. Lorena?
So for me, since I have not read the books and I purely go by what I'm seeing on screen, I rated this one a 9. And the reason why I did is because the plot line really had me guessing throughout the entire film, trying to figure out who the Half-Blood Prince was, seeing what was up with Slughorn, and just how everything progressed. So for me, this out of all of the movies, this is the one that held my attention the most. So it gets a 9 from me.
All right. Now me, I always do my 3-tier, which is objective, subjective, and moviegoer. Objectively, this movie is very well done. Jesus. Soul Assassin and AFK.
Thanks a lot.
I love you guys.
You guys are too funny.
Objectively, this movie is well done. Acting, directing, writing, a few things wrong though, but there are flaws. I would give it a 9 out of 10. Objectively, there are flaws in this movie. I mean, like we discussed with the thing on the train where Harry is basically saying Ron's damn line. It's like, that's a mistake. But yeah, 9 out of 10 objectively. Subjectively, it gets a lower one because of all the differences and the mess ups and whatnot. I would give it a 7. Moviegoer is a 10 out of 10. It's a very entertaining movie. And if people do not pay attention to the differences between the book and the movie, they will enjoy the movie better. Hold on one second. Now, what was your favorite parts in the movie? And we'll start with Lorena this time.
Shoot, there was a lot. I'll go with the most subtle parts. It would have to be every time that Harry would consult the potions book.
Yeah.
And you're looking at just like how they have the notes, and you don't know who wrote the notes. But it's just like every time he uses them, it's like he's freaking winning every time. So it's very subtle, but I just found that to be a very, very cool plot device. So for me, those parts were the favorite part of the film for me.
All right. And yes, Soul Assassin, I am well aware that there is a ticking clock right next to me. There's not much I can do about that. I mean, unless I threw it out the window, which I would love to do one of these days, but I can't.
I didn't notice in the previous ones.
Yeah. Mads, what was your favorite part?
It's hard to pick a favorite part. I mean, I really liked the looking back into seeing the building, but I gotta go with that whole, the Felix Felicis. As much as Harry seems loopy out of his gourd throughout that whole scene.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just I love that. Like, if I could find, I've looked for the gif so many times of Hagrid going, "It's my best friend he was," and I could never find it.
All right.
I would be using that gif so many times. I love that whole bit.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite part, honestly, I really can't find one in this movie. This movie, all around, was enjoyable to watch. And it really was an entertaining movie. It does a great lead to the 7th movie, which we will be talking about at length in the next movie discussion stream in 2 weeks. So before we do, I'm going to allow both of my lovely lady panelists to plug their channels. Mads, go first.
Hey, Al, Mads Mama Bear here. You can find me at Mads Mama Bear here on YouTube and on Twitter. And I can also find me Monday nights on the Chaotic Countdown with Comic Chat. And of course, the Queen's Council every Thursday night. As to where that's going to be this week, you're going to have to pay attention to my Twitter. Beyond that, I've got some big changes coming for my channel, so stay tuned.
All right. And Lorena.
Okay, hey everyone. This is Lorena Creole on YouTube. And of course, you can follow me on Twitter. I have a lot of live streams going on my channel and appearances on other channels. So the best way to keep up with that is to look at the pinned tweet that I have up on Twitter. But for tomorrow at 7 p.m., I will be on Rogue Entertainment over on author Stephen Walton's channel. I stream twice a week on my channel on Fridays. Actually, we had one today for Lorena's Lunch Table, where I have a guest and we talk pop culture, sci-fi, all kinds of things. And on Sundays at 8 p.m., I have a Welcome to Florida live stream, which for this week is actually going to be celebrating me reaching 600 subs, thanks to so many generous people. So that's going to be on Sunday. And of course, you can see me on Monday nights at 10 p.m. on Toxic Femininity over on Midnight's Edge channel. And on Thursdays, 7 p.m. on Justin Proper's channel for This Week in BS. And at 9 p.m. on the Queen's Council. Don't know where that's going to be this week, but like Mad said, just follow our Twitter to find out. And thanks everybody for joining us tonight.
Thank you. And congratulations on 600.
Well, thank you.
So with that, folks, we are going to wrap it up. You all know the drill. If you catch it on the replay, like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Be sure to tell me your favorite part of the movie or your least favorite or what you thought of it. And make sure you sub to these lovely ladies because they are great YouTubers. And stay tuned for 2 weeks from now when we do Year 7 Part 1. We are definitely splitting 2 movies into 2 streams. So stay tuned for that one. Also, if you guys are fans of my Versus streams, stay tuned for next week, Friday, same time, 9 p.m. I will be doing Punisher versus Grim Knight, which is a dark version of Batman. That's kind of like the Punisher. So, yeah, stay tuned for that one. And this has been Orange Hat Reviews and guests. Have a good one, folks, and always remember to stay humble.